What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Diabetes Talk. My name is Justin, and tonight we have a special guest in the house. This is Tiffany. Tiffany, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Tiffany. I'm Charlie's executive assistant and our HR advisor here at FitScript.
So first of all, I want to recognize everybody in the YouTube chat. We have Jeanette and Raj. I want to say what's up to both of you. I've seen you guys in here multiple times. Thank you for your dedication, sticking with us in the GlucoseZone. We really appreciate that. And I don't know about you, but I'm super stoked to talk about tonight's topic, which is very important in both of our lives, especially recently, which is breaking down the fitness barriers, the boundaries, just revolving exercising with our diabetes. So do you have any, stories for people that are out there living with diabetes that just kind of need that extra push or motivation, or just maybe recently you could tell us about how you got started?
Yeah, so a little bit more about myself. On a personal note, I've had diabetes for about going on 28 years, and
Keep going.
what is he doing? Oh my God. And so recently I got into exercise again, and it's been a big change. It's been very challenging over the time, and as we go through the talk, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But yeah, it's definitely been a great experience.
So quick name drop: Claudette, Donnie Ray, DeLeslin, Megan, AO, welcome to the GlucoseZone. How's everybody doing tonight? So I think the first, just in general, exercising with diabetes is such a challenging thing to start, and especially getting started in the first place. So I know you just recently started re-exercising again, so can you just talk a little bit about, the motivation or what really inspired you to get started again after, taking a little break and then finally coming back to it?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me was just finding time. It's really hard to do when you have a busy schedule with work, coming in late, coming in early, leaving late on different days. So with finding time, I think the biggest thing is just anything you can do in your day that will fit into your schedule, whether it's midday, afternoon, in the evening after you're done. For me personally, it's been doing it after work. I'm totally not a morning person by any means at all. And I've tried to get up in the morning earlier, and I just can't push myself to do it. I don't have much energy first thing in the morning enough. But once I leave work, I go straight to work out, and definitely that's my time, and I set that aside every day. I know that at this time during the day I'm going to go work out, and it's going to happen every day.
I think that's really an important part too, in terms of just, a lot of people don't realize or don't understand where to start. How's the best way to start exercising, especially living with diabetes. And I definitely think that one of the best ways, and it works for me personally, is, and I don't know if it works for you, is putting the time on my calendar, my personal calendar. So the people that I work with, my friends, whoever it may be, they know that during, let's just say 6:30 at night, Justin's exercising, that's his time to work out. And I think that I know I personally am a lot more prone to do something if I see it on my calendar. So I think that that's a big part, and that plays a huge role in kind of kicking down that barrier, and also is just finding that motivation. So if you want to just talk about what really, I guess, truly inspired you to get started. I know you just recently started a new pump, which is kind of really kick-started and just sprung your diabetes in a whole nother universe. So if you want to just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm currently on the MiniMed 670G. It's a closed loop system. With this system, basically my A1C went from 7.6 to 5.7, and that was in a 3-month span. We here at FitScript like to joke that I've reversed my type 1 diabetes, although we know that it isn't, not a serious thing. But definitely the pump has kind of made it a lot easier to work with my levels. I can set what's called a temp target on it, and during that time, it allows me to raise the target which to 150 for my blood sugar levels to be at. And it's really easy now because it automatically corrects for, as I'm going low, it'll automatically suspend the pump, or if my blood sugars are rising as I'm doing exercises, it'll slowly give me a little bit more insulin. So in that scheme of things, it's really kind of kicked me into a position where I found that I really wanted to just like bump up my health and really work hard at everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jeanette is right. It is awesome. And I've been somebody living with type 1 diabetes for almost 15 years, and I just found that truly incredible. But we know a lot of people exercising with us in the glucose zone have pre-diabetes, type 1, type 2 diabetes. So not just in talking about exercising in general and truly breaking down the barriers, I think that it's hard to try your best to not make excuses for yourself. And I know that almost sounds like kind of blunt, and you like take a step back when you hear it, but I know that after a while, I just recently started doing kickboxing, and I totally am just intrigued. It has my attention so much, and it really is just so interesting and unique. And I think that just finding a time of day where you can exercise is plays a big role, and just finding that motivation, not making excuses for yourself, putting it on the calendar, getting to where you have to go, whether it's the gym, whether it's with us in the GlucoseZone app, or anything in far in between. So I think that plays a big role as well. And so Raj said, I used to start workout around this time, but I postponed workout to watch GlucoseZone live. Raj, I can't be mad at you for that because you're tuning in. But that's awesome that you used to start the workouts around this time, and I hope you found another time to squeeze that workout in. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I know a lot of people have busy schedules. So what would you say is your, I guess, biggest challenge when it comes to literally exercising and diabetes? As simple as it can sound, what do you think is one of your personal struggles with that?
Well, for me, I have a lot of injuries. First of all, I had a meniscal tear in my left knee. I also have a hip impingement problem, and that really causes certain exercise to cause me a lot of pain. So initially starting out, part of the reasons why I did stop was because the day after I'd exercise, I could barely walk because everything was just very inflamed. I was aggravating the injuries that I had, not realizing it. And literally, I was so frustrated and so fed up that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do this. Now, the thing with that was that as I stopped, I began to realize that there were things I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to go hiking. One of my goals is my brother lives out in Colorado, and he's huge into mountain biking. And I would love to get out there and even be able to do like a small trail with him. And those things I knew weren't going to happen for me if I didn't put the effort in. That was the biggest thing. So what I did is, I did research on certain exercises and things I could do, things I could stay away from. Really, I think finding somebody who knows about body mechanics is definitely a phenomenal thing. And just starting small. For me personally, like I noticed, off the bat, I didn't notice like huge differences. It was the small things, like just the fact that sitting on the floor, I could get up much easier and not have the pain. It was like the little things that I noticed. Randomly the other day, I noticed, oh, my neck doesn't hurt anymore, and I was used to like having neck pain every day. And it's just from working on specialized muscle groups to combat the issues that I do have. So like for me personally, it's working on my hamstrings and glutes and not overworking my quads because I'm already quad dominant. So it's just being very focused in my workouts. And now, there's plenty of times where I'll still will try to push myself, and I'll realize, the next day I'll be a little bit swollen, sore.
Right.
Things come back, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Now I just learn from it and say, maybe I jumped into that too quickly.
Right.
It really is just adjusting for what you can and can't do and knowing your boundaries. And if you do have issues, many of us do, just realizing that that's not something to use as an excuse. It's something to find a way around.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's really well put, especially because I know one thing that I personally struggle with, and I know a lot of other individuals out there just trying to begin exercise, especially with diabetes, and even in general exercising terminology, I think we just go too hard. You kind of get a little gung-ho about it, and you just dive right in. And one thing I know with me in the past is I've tried, a couple different types of really high-intensity workouts, and I found that for myself, it's not actually the best type of exercising. It's kind of ironic that I'm saying this because I started kickboxing recently, and I love it. But that is actually, it's nice because we start with a little higher intensity and gradually work back up. Deleslin started Zumba. That's awesome. Zumba, I don't have the moves like I used to, but Zumba is definitely a good time for sure. I know that's an amazing workout. You definitely burn a lot of calories doing Zumba. So one thing also that I do want to talk about is Tiffany brought this up to me earlier today, but that believe it or not, a lot of people, and you might be watching this and agreeing or disagreeing, but they just find exercising boring. And so there's a couple different, tips or tricks that we have to, maybe spice it up a little bit or just, really, like I said before, kick down that door and make it more entertaining. So do you want to talk about maybe some tips or tricks that you personally use to find exercise less boring?
Yes, definitely. So one of the things that I found personally, I didn't mind weightlifting. I didn't like cardio so much. So I found it really hard to be on the elliptical. What I did find recently is that if I make a phenomenal playlist of something that just gets me pumped and I'm like just
bumping the music
exactly
and turning
just
up on the
get
elliptical.
into it, get into the groove, and
Right.
literally people probably think I look silly because I'm on the elliptical and I'm jamming out and my eyes are closed and I'm literally like I'm in a gym, so I shut off to the rest of the world and I don't care because I'm there bettering myself. So I don't need to worry about what other people think while I'm there. And most people are going to be like, wow, look, you know what? She is better.
Just putting that work.
Exactly. Another thing, too, which I think is really cool, and a lot of places might have now, might not, is so my gym has these machines that you can set up, put in your Netflix password.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
like
pretty
literally
high-tech.
you could just like binge watch your favorite TV shows while you're on the elliptical or treadmill or whatever it is and just watch it from there. I mean, if your gym doesn't have that, you can always bring your phone and do it that way. I find if you distract yourself, that is the best way to do it. Like just sitting down and finding something that distracts you from what you're actually doing. If the case is that you don't enjoy it.
I think that you nailed that perfectly in terms of just using your own music or your playlist as your own motivation. It just kind of allows you to escape the reality you're in. And I know that there's no better feeling than prior to stepping into the gym versus when I leave it. I just feel significantly better. You get that sweat in, you put that work in, and even exercising at home, you just feel it's just such a rewarding feeling. And I do want to shout out Jeanette. We see you in here challenging yourself every week, and you're just putting in that work. And one thing that I'll encourage you to do is you could challenge yourself with different exercises. I know I used to do this way back when. You could do, let's just say you start on Monday and you do as many push-ups as you can, and you try that every single day, or squats, whatever it may be. Let's say you do it for a minute. As many push-ups as you can in a minute. Monday versus Friday, I guarantee you're going to see those results go up. And I think just that little thing can just be so motivational. And I think that, I personally use that as my motivation. I know at kickboxing, the first time I went, I was keeled over. I literally thought I was going to die. It was a very, very challenging workout. But now I just feel like I've definitely, increased my endurance. I feel much better. And exercise in general, and I'm sure you could talk about this as well, it just goes a very long way in terms of overall health. So I unconsciously started eating healthier from when I started kickboxing to now. I definitely found myself snacking a lot less. That was always a problem with me. So just once you get in a pattern, you kind of establish yourself, especially in a gym or at home, just during a regular exercise schedule, I think that you can just reap the benefits and really enjoy a healthy lifestyle. So has that ever happened with you, or is it happening with you right now with this new kind of health kick that you and I are both on right now?
Yeah.
And I say kick. I say that loosely because we're going to keep it going.
Exactly.
We're going to kick it all over the place.
Yep. So it's definitely been a huge, just in my mental health, like it's definitely made a huge difference. I notice that I have so much more energy during the days. I just feel better in general. I personally have suffered from seasonal affective disorder. So during the winter time, I get a little bit down with the lack of sunlight. And this is when I decided that I really needed something else. And when I first started, I was a little skeptical. I was like, really? Does exercise really release those endorphins everyone's talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And it isn't necessarily something that happens immediately. Like it's not something that you go to the gym once and you feel it. For me personally, it was gradual. As I started, I got into the routine of, I started only going 2 times a week. Okay. Then I started going 3 times a week. And then at 3 times a week, I was like, for me, I was like, forget about 4, forget about 5, I'm going 6. So now I literally go Monday through Saturday. I go to the gym, I do my workouts, and I just, don't worry about anything else. Just get it in, make sure I have that time set apart.
That's your me time.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody, it's just mental health is just such a large issue, and it goes way further than this diabetes talk. But I think exercising plays a huge role, and like you said, it just really benefits you, especially like you said. I could just tell your overall mood. I mean, my overall mood, Tiffany's overall mood. Charlie's been exercising since he was 6 minutes old, so I don't know about him, but everybody else just has just an overall better mood, and it's really important to just make time for yourself, making time for, of course, everybody else, but, you really have to get in, put the work in, and just reap the benefits.
I think the other thing, too, is not worrying about the stigma that's out there. I mean, clearly, I'm a bigger girl. People probably don't think I'm working out 6 days a week. I am. I'm putting in the work. I'm sweating. I am going hard at it. And you know what? When I'm done, I feel great. And at times, it's been a struggle for me personally because I'm doing everything I should be doing right. I'm eating properly. I'm exercising, and the weight's still slow to come off. But I'm happy because my mind state is much happier. I just noticed a huge difference with my injuries and pain that I'm feeling. I don't feel as much pain as I did. Just like you said, overall health is the biggest thing. And, you can't worry about what other people think. You have to do it for yourself. And that's the biggest thing, is you always have to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And setting goals, like Justin said earlier, starting small, that's the biggest thing. Like, when I first started, it was like, I'm going to start small. I'm going to go for 10 minutes on the elliptical. And then the next time it was like, okay, you know what? I already did 10. I still can go more.
Right.
So then just going more. And then it was, let's see how fast I can do this. Let's see how many miles I can get in. Let's see how much weight I could actually lift. Let's push myself a little harder. And every time I had a new goal, regardless of what it is or what I was doing, I always tried to just push myself a little farther each time. Because when you accomplish those goals and you're able to do them, it just makes you feel so much better.
I think going back to just setting a goal in general is such a huge thing that a lot of people overlook. There is this program called Couch to 5K, and it's just a truly incredible experience, and it gets these people that are motivated, and they, it's a funny term, but it's true. People that are just not used to exercising, and it motivates them to do a 5K. And I think that, that's just one of the many, many goals that you can make for yourself. Like Tiffany said, do it for you. And of course, you doing it for you will eventually benefit everybody else around you, because you'll just be in a better mood, a better mindset. And I think that just establishing a goal is really, really important. Whether it be, there's a lot of people that have a difficult time just getting up and down their stairs, just challenging yourself, going day by day, and stuff like that. So we do have a question here from Steve Jones. He said, do you use any fitness trackers, Fitbit, iWatch? I don't even know what Tiffany's got going on over here, but I know I use my Apple Watch, and I actually have competitions going on with some of my friends, which is really neat. And that's also another goal that I have, is like every week we try to outstep each other, out-exercise each other, who burnt the most calories, and that's just a fun goal to use. So I'm not marketing Fitbit or Apple Watch or whatever it may be, but that's also plays a pretty big role in how I use my motivation. Now, you're going to have to tell me what's going on there. That thing
This is my old
crazy.
school. I just broke this out. This is my old school Fitbit.
Old school Fitbit.
I'm going to be getting a new one, but the reason why I started to wear this is, even though I'm going to the gym every day, well, shouldn't say every day, 6 days a week.
You can't lie to the people.
I still wanted to really be cautious about how many steps I get in throughout the rest of the day and maintaining to be active. So my goal is 10,000 steps. It's a great goal. So I look at it and it shows me, oh, look, I've sat for a little while right now. Maybe I should get up and walk around. And that, for me, that's just, I find this helps me be accountable for staying active. I think they can be great. You don't necessarily need them, but I think they can be reminders. And to that point of being accountable, I think it's also great to find somebody who can keep you accountable. If you can find somebody to go to the gym with, or even if they're like, you're here and they're across the country, and just letting them know and be like,
hit them with that FaceTime after the workout.
What are you doing now?
Just
are you
be
going to
pumped
work out? Oh, I really don't feel like it. Oh, okay. Well, you need to, so go do it. Having someone help motivate you in that way, I think that's definitely a huge benefit.
Oh, absolutely. And quick shout out to Nora, Maria, Jennifer on Facebook, Brenda in the app. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to us. Welcome to the GlucoseZone. And Brenda in the app says, changing schedule makes him always change his workout time. So that's actually, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing in your personal opinion or your experience. I find that I like to have, like, one thing that's really great about my kickboxing class is they offer so many different times. So with the new schedule that's upcoming, it's really convenient for the users, of course, to look at the different times and select, I work till 5. They have a live stream at, let's say, 6:30. Can I do that? Or I don't go into work until 12. Can I do this 10 a.m. workout? So I think by us adding more times definitely will benefit you. And for anybody that exercises with us on YouTube or GlucoseZone, the GlucoseZone app, if they would want to write in to us and say some times that work for them, that would actually be really helpful for us on our end to take a look at that. And so going back to what you said about just having a buddy, I think that's plays such a big role, and I personally almost take it for granted. I joined kickboxing with my girlfriend, and it's just a great she kind of pushes me to go, and I don't really push her too much to go. She's really pushing me to go. But we get there, we get the job done, and it's just an awesome kind of hour to escape and do your own thing. So I think that, and if you don't have the partner, self-motivation is just a huge, huge role. Going back to what Tiffany said before, do it for you. make that the alarm title every time you wake up. Make today a great day. Do it for you. Just get it done. Seriously, it's
on on that note, I just wanted to say, like, just know that tomorrow is always a new day. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happened a month ago. It doesn't matter what happened a year ago. Know that you have your future, and that's what you have to look for. You know, the only thing you can have, you need your health for the future. You need to be happy. Those are the biggest things. And don't dwell on the past and what's happened or what you couldn't accomplish in the past, or that, you know, Friday night you went out and ate a pizza, or, you know, you went off your diet for one day. Honestly, one meal isn't going to make or break you. One day of not doing something isn't going to necessarily make or break it. It's what you do the following days and the day after. So really, like, keeping in mind when you're in your darkest of dark days, just know that, like, tomorrow's a brand new day, and you can turn it around and you can always make it better.
And I think that's just, that goes with one of two things. Tomorrow's a new day for somebody without diabetes, and tomorrow's a new day for somebody with diabetes. I know a couple days ago I had a quote-unquote bad diabetes day. I don't even like to call it that, but my sugars were just all over the place, and I woke up the next morning and I realized, you know, I woke up at a good number. Let's roll with this. And I think that's really important, to just not get down on yourself about your diabetes and not get down on yourself about just life in general. It's just always, I mean, of course, it's so much easier said than done, but just trying to be as optimistic as you possibly can. Deleslin said on YouTube, doing okay with the workouts, but still having a hard time with eating healthy. I'm hoping warmer temperatures, spring, will help. Deleslin, I don't know, I don't remember where you are from, but in New Haven, we're getting a nice big snowstorm tomorrow, 8 to 12 inches, that will probably have me doing a little extra snacking. So I'm definitely with you, and we appreciate you sharing that. I think that's a big struggle that everybody has, is that kind of hibernation mentality of, you know, the winter's here, I'm going to grow out my beard and eat a little bit more, bring on that extra.
On that too.
Yeah, bring on that extra, you know, the flubber and stay warm. But I think that it's really important, just all joking aside, just really staying motivated, putting the work in, and just, you know, just reflecting on some of the things we talked about, putting something on your schedule, you know, motivate yourself, get yourself a gym partner, join us in the GlucoseZone. I know snacking is the best. It can be hard. It's definitely a challenge sometimes. And just
definitely just find a way, not an excuse.
Yeah,
find
absolutely.
a way to get things done, and don't look for an excuse. I think it's really.
I really appreciate all the feedback on the app, on Facebook, on YouTube. We appreciate you all so much, and we really appreciate just having this opportunity to speak with you and bounce our ideas and topics off of you. I will throw in a quick little commercial. Please download the GlucoseZone app. It's definitely worth your time. We have so many different exercises
for all levels.
All levels, all different times throughout the day. And if you need any help or support downloading the app, please contact us. Our digital coach, Laura, just put the email up there. It's support@glucoszone.com if you ever have any questions about anything. And with that being said, thank you so much for joining us for this Breaking Down the Boundaries to Exercise. I'm Justin.
I'm Tiffany.
And we'll see you all next time. Thank you so much.